golf.com. I'm sorry. Good morning to you. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to spend a little time talking about golf today, and in particular, one of the courses in this area, and that is Bay Valley. And we will introduce you to our guest right after all of these notes.
It could be the best years of...
All right, we're back with you, and as I mentioned, we're going to talk a little golf today with a man who spends his life dealing with it, because he is the pro at Bay Valley. And we say good morning to Doug Temple.
Good morning, Art.
And one of the most unusual situations in golf, your brother's the superintendent.
He is the superintendent. Yeah, I was just texting him a second ago.
And you guys get along.
Yeah, it's awesome
That's great.
out there. Yeah, we have every day we talk a little bit about what's going on in the course and where things are going, and it just starts the day off in the right way.
So let's talk about where the course has been, where it is, and where it's going. Bay Valley, for a lot of years, as most everybody knows, I would use the term neglected.
That's a fair statement.
Fair statement. And then we got the investment company coming in. They spent some money, picked up a Wyndham flag while they're at it. Where is the course now compared to where it was when you set foot on it? And what do you see down
Well, I came there in February, so it had a lot of snow on it when I stepped foot on it in February.
Okay.
So, but I had been talking with the ownership group on and off for the last year. The property out there, just like you said, it's a wonderful layout. It's the only Desmond Muirhead designed course in Michigan. It's truly, and I could be a little biased, but I think in this area, once we get it back to the shape that it deserves to be in, like it was 30 years ago, it'll definitely be that destination for this market that it hasn't been. But what they've done in the last year since they took over, and they took over in May of 2025, so it hasn't been that long. They've redone cart paths. We just got done running all kinds of wire for our irrigation, putting in new sprinkler heads, swing joints. The group's coming out again July 10th. We're actually going to do a bunch of irrigation right around the greens.
That was one of the biggest things it needed, wasn't
Definitely. Yeah, it didn't have full irrigation, so we're still working through that. Last year we added power throughout the entire course. So the power is there. Now we got to tie in the wiring. So that's all happening. We've got a great crew. We doubled the size of the crew out there working, so they got the right number of people. Redoing all the bunkers, putting in drainage, new sand. We've been rolling the greens since April 1st. We have a great state-of-the-art roller, new mowers. It's night and day. If you haven't been out there, if you were out there a year and a half ago or later, you've got to come out and see it. Everybody that plays it just can't believe the transformation. And it really does take a couple years to change the grass. And so I can only imagine the next few years where we're going to be, but it's going to take a while to get to where we want to be. But it's night and day to where it was.
But it's like, for you coming into that this year, it's like almost stepping onto a new course that needs to be brought onto maturity in a way.
Yeah, we've worked a ton on just rebranding what it was, because I think in the area it was Bay Valley, you don't want to go there. Now we're telling the story of Desmond Muirhead. We've got a fully stocked golf shop, stay and play packages. We've already booked over 2,000 nights in the Wyndham Hotel for stay and play packages. Leagues have doubled up the size of leagues we've had. It's just, we're 100% ahead of where we were last year, and we're just getting rolling. So, and everybody I talked today to a group of people out in the Thumb hadn't played here. They're an hour and 10 minutes away, had not been to Bay Valley ever. They're a group that travels around and plays, and they were talking about how nice the hotel was, the restaurant, the staff, the fact that they'll be back is what I like to hear.
Well, you don't have to be hours away. I'm 15 minutes away and haven't played it in decades.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing how many people, when we talk to them in the shop, and I encourage my staff to, ask some probing questions. Where are you from? What brings you to Bay Valley? And a lot of it has been, I'm hearing all this good news. I live pretty close by. I just never wanted to come here. So now that's changing. And like I said, I encourage everybody, if you've not been out there, it'll be one of the best courses you play in this area this year for sure.
And Doug, that may be one of the most difficult things. Takes 5 minutes to create a negative image and takes years to overcome it.
It does. Yeah.
So you really have to work at it every day.
Well, we've added all kinds of programs too. And I think that's the other thing. When we think of like, it's not just golf and it's not just a golf shop. And we've added programs, our PGA Hope programs. We have junior camps. We have PGA Junior League. We're doing women give back clinics. We're doing a lot of things to engage a lot of different segments of the community to come out to Bay Valley and see what we're doing. And I think that's helping a ton. We're aggressive on social media, posting stuff daily with what's happening, and people are receptive.
What got you into golf, and what got you to want to become a PGA professional?
You know, I enjoyed playing golf growing up. My dad wasn't into golf. My brother wasn't a heavy golfer. Had some neighbors in our neighborhood that played a lot of golf. So they were older. I'd go play golf with them. And at some point I said, this would be great if this was a career. And it just so happened to be Ferris State. My alma mater was one of the most popular PGA schools in the country at the time. And it was only an hour and a half away and made sense. So ever since I was probably 17, 18, I knew some form golf was going to be in my career path.
And you did.
I did.
But you never got out of it, even though you were doing other things for a number of years. You still taught, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, always involved. I mean, I owned an off-course retail golf shop. I get people who come in all the time. And I remember when I bought those clubs from you out in Shields? Like, wow,
I
that was
remember.
30.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that business.
Yeah, we had Golf World in Shields. That was like 35 years ago, a long time ago. So we had that. I've been a head pro in Florida, Georgia, all over the place, Michigan. Took a step away from the industry, but was still teaching, like you said. I'd worked for the YMCA for 12 years as their director of operations, but had still taught, doing youth programs, veteran programs, giving back in a lot of different ways. And so it was always near and dear. So now, like I said, I really enjoy the fact that I get to do it every day. Doesn't seem, we were talking, off the radio, it doesn't seem like a job at all. It's a lot of fun. And the fact that I get to do it with my brother and really revive a property. I don't know if we talked about this last time. I met my wife at Bay Valley.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, she was a sales manager there a long time ago. And I came back when I was a pro at Disney and was looking for a place to do some lessons. I had still had a contract with Nike to do some golf schools. So that season I met Sandy out there. So the place is near and dear to me, and I just want to see it succeed, and I'm passionate about helping it come back to what I think so many of us remember. If we're a little older, we remember this unbelievable property. Those that are younger, they just got to get out and experience it. There are a lot of people that don't even know Bay Valley exists. But so for me, it's a passion project that I just won't stop until I see it succeed.
And you're getting a lot of play. Is it hard to balance play between members, walk-ons, stay nights, play nights?
Yeah, it has been, I think, probably an eye-opener, and a lot of gratitude for our members and pass holders out there, because it is definitely different than it was we've doubled the size of our members because they're excited about what's coming. But on the flip side, it's difficult to play as fast as you want. You can get a tee time. It's just going to be a 4-hour round a lot of times. It's not, I own this, I own the facility. I can jump out and play in 3 hours. But, that comes with any business. I think golf is very busy. Doesn't matter if you're in the private club, resort, muni. Golf is popping right now.
Well, and a lot of these folks were used to the leniency at the course at the time. Didn't have that structure that they needed. Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought it was their own private golf club. And as much as they can't play as quick as they want, they are very grateful for all the adjustments that are happening and the money that's dumped into the whole facility. Many of them live right out there in the condos, so they're excited. So, yeah, I think the positives far outweigh the negatives.
Let me ask you some technical questions about golf.
Sure.
I have a saying. An expensive club in the hands of a bad swing produces a very expensive bad shot. How important is the club today, and how different is the club from when my late father, who was a -2 handicap, played with the old wooden clubs and wooden shafts and persimmon heads? How different is it today, and does it make it better?
I think the equipment today is so much more forgiving. So you can still hit bad shots. We all know that.
Oh, I'm very good at it.
Yeah, you can still hit it in the trees. You can still top it and all that fun stuff. But if you mishit it on the toe, the heel, high on the head, low on the head, that's where it's more forgiving. You don't lose the distance that you used to. Technology has made it so, the gear effect, if you think you're hitting a slice or a hook, it kind of works its way back to the fairway. So all that's great. But if you look at the USGA and say, hey, if scores come down, they have not come down. So people are thinking they're better, but the average score, the handicapping system over the last 20 years will show that it has not come down. But I think that's because there's so many new golfers that are also in the game, where in the past there was, this nucleus, like this was who was golfing and they were hardcore golfers. Every day we've got people coming out that you could be in your 30s and this might be the first year you've played, where in the past that just wasn't the case. So new golfers, the equipment still comes down to the person swinging it. I always tell everybody you could give anybody that was here for the LPGA event a set out of your garage, and I'm pretty sure they're going to beat you. Doesn't matter what they're swinging.
I guarantee it.
So
I played in the Pro-Am, and the young lady we played with, she was no taller than I am, and I'm only 5'7". But her ball was 290 yards down the fairway, and I went, how do you do that?
Yeah, it is impressive, and it looks like they're hardly swinging, and it just seems so effortless, and it's like, where's that power coming from?
And not only that, if you took a sideways shot of the first one to swing and superimposed that on the other 143, it would be a mirror image. They all look exactly the same when they swing.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's little differences, but not to the average eye.
Well, and I think when you think of where power comes from, it comes from the same way it comes from an LPGA to a PGA player to a novice golfer. But yeah, they make it look easy. They understand the swing plane is the swing plane. Power comes from a certain area. We just had a junior camp.
Wait. Don't just say that. Where's the area? Give us a lesson here.
All right. So if you think, I use this analogy a lot. If you think of like snapping a towel, when you hinge your wrist, first off, if you don't have the right grip, most people don't. They have a very weak grip or their hands are turned too far to the left. If they get that club in their fingertips, so their thumb is actually going to be, if you're right-handed, your left-hand thumb is going to be a little bit on the side, the right-hand side of the grip. That allows your hands to hinge the right way to create an angle. So when you're turning your body, it's that releasing of that angle, that's power. It's not strength trying to hit it with your hands. And we see it often where we have a poor grip, somebody's turning the club face open to try to get their hands in a position to create an angle. But those that hit it a long ways, not only can they create, a 90-degree angle, they actually retain it through impact. Most of us can somewhat create an angle, but then we're hitting at it with our hands. So the only time your left arm for a right-handed golfer and the shaft of that club should be straight is just past impact. If it's straight behind the ball, you're now scooping at it, which is what I would say 90% of the people I work with, that's what they do, because their brain thinks I've got to scoop the ball in the air, and the better players know it's actually hitting down on it that gets the ball in the air.
Thanks, Pro.
Yeah, I'll send you the bill.
Yeah. But, I have found over the years, and I have not taken a lot of lessons, but I have found that when you make little improvements, makes the game more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Just the little things you can do and say, wow.
Well, we do so many clinics out right up Bay Valley right now, and I enjoy, once again, I've really loved teaching over the years, but explaining to people that the secret sauce is, it's great you're here learning what to do and you're hearing what to do and we're showing you, but you got to come out and work on it. You can't just show up once a week and think, I'm going to get better because Doug's talking about this, and this, because by next week you're going to forget it all. So you got to get out and practice. And those that are better players, and if you think back to your dad, he probably played 5 days a week, if not 7.
No, he didn't.
Well, he was a heck of an athlete.
He was
then.
a natural.
Yeah, because a lot of times good athletes, good eye-hand coordination, good baseball, hockey players, they can be really good golfers too. But most of us got to get out there and practice.
He did that. He didn't play, but he practiced a lot.
Well, good players love to practice.
But he played probably twice a week.
Yeah.
In the Bronx.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, he was very good. I mean, they tried to talk him to going pro, and he didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. That'd have been a whole nother
He
commitment.
said, you understand, I enjoy golf right now. I don't want to be a business,
Yeah, I could only imagine.
So, but it was also frustrating playing with him because he could not teach.
Yeah.
He could play, but he could not teach.
I'm always amazed, the best players in the world have an entourage of coaches, right? They've got a sports psychologist, a swing coach, a physical stretching coach, all these different
Putting
things.
coach,
Putting coach is different, just to keep them to where they're at, because many of them, they play a lot, they're good golfers, but they need somebody to look at their swing and give them some tweaks. And you hear about it every year about some player that all of a sudden is playing great, and they're going to credit their PGA pro, or somebody's going to come in and say this one or two things really made a difference.
Let me ask about the PGA program, because it seems to me that there are a lot more courses today where the pro on staff may not be PGA.
I think that's true. I think the PGA has aggressively worked to make it easier to get into the business. In the past, I think being a PGA member in my mind is still the highest end you can get. Does it mean I can't run a golf course if I'm not a PGA member? No, by no means it doesn't mean that at all. So I think the PGA has said, how can we revamp our business school? For example, I went to school at Ferris to get a degree in marketing. You don't have to get a degree to be a PGA member. You can right now go through the Golf Pro training program and get enrolled, and I think it's probably a 3-year program. I don't know it because I'm so far removed from doing it.
3 tiers, they call it.
Yeah.
You have to qualify, you have to shoot 2 rounds of golf.
You have to pass your PGA player's ability test.
At least one of them has to be under 78. If both of them are under 78, then you don't have to second qualify at the end of school. If only one of them is under 78, then after you've gone through the program, you have to shoot again to get under 78.
Yeah, I think...
I can tell you that because that's what my son did.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times, though, those that want to get into golf, they have a love for golf. Usually it starts out because they're playing a lot of golf. So in my opinion, it's a business. There's a lot of different avenues in golf that we have to look at beyond how good of a player am I. Some of the best players could be some of the worst business acumen individuals running, So, but I think on the flip side, there are some great general managers and managers that probably couldn't play for a lick, but they understand the golf industry. They understand people, food and beverage, all those things that are part of the components of running a golf operation.
And there are great teachers, not all of whom play exceptional golf, but they can teach the game.
Definitely. There are a lot of really good teachers out there that are not players, and I've had friends that they study the swing an unbelievable amount of time to understand it, the mechanics. But I do think if you're a player, you can also relate a little bit to certain feelings and what does that look like, what does that feel like, where if you really just understand the mechanics of the swing, it's really good. Most people don't, but there's still a little missing element if that's the only lane you're in.
Yeah, and then practice.
Practice.
Practice. We're talking to Doug Temple from Bay Valley, and we will return with more after these notes.
Let's be honest.
With you in studio with me, Doug Temple. He is the PGA professional at Bay Valley Golf Course, and we set up a couple of calls for you, just because.
I like it.
I thought so. So we're going to start out with Gordon, who's in Saginaw. Gordon, good morning. You're on with Doug Temple. Gordon, are you there?
This is the best question for me. I don't.
Where'd he go? Well, let's try this. Let's see if we can do this. Gordon, are you there? Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're on with Doug.
Doug, we were just out there yesterday, my wife and I, and played. Pace of play was great. The course looks unbelievably improved. We've been playing there since '78, and it's good times and bad times. But I have one problem that I'm wondering what you're planning on doing about, and that's the goose dropping.
Well, in some ways, that's like fertilizer. No. So
Well, yeah.
I agree. There are a lot of geese out there currently. We have been talking how we're going to handle that because you get it. You played out there. The green. If you were out there in the morning, there can tend to be a lot of goose droppings. So yeah, we're working through how we're going to clean that up because we know that's part of the whole experience. I first off want to say thanks for playing out there since 1978 because guess what? You have been out there for some great years in the 70s, probably up and through the 80s, and then some lean years. And appreciate your kind words because we are working hard to bring that course back. And I need people like you in our community to say it's worth going back out and trying.
I would tell you the Fortress had a problem, and they took care of it. You may want to talk to them. I don't know exactly.
I know
what
Kyle
they
out
did.
there very well. Yes, we've had a couple groups come out and talk with us already about how we're going to handle that, and we've actually talked with some of the condo associations that are out there. There's 6 condo associations. A lot of the ponds that we have water on 13 holes, so it makes it easy for geese. But it's not all owned by the golf course either, so there's a happy medium between a couple different groups.
Well, the next time I'm out there, I'll look you up. I'll show you. I have the original yardage book from 1971.
Wow.
Nice. The course probably we haven't lengthened it all. It's probably the same 6,600 yards from the tips.
Yep, except that it was reversed at that time.
It was. You're right. I knew that.
Changed that. Yeah.
Yep.
All
Yep,
right.
but Rick Quellman's pictures in the front. Yep.
Oh,
Well,
that's
thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
Gordon, thanks
Appreciate
for
you calling, Gordon.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And we'll continue on. This is Joe. Joe, you're on with Doug Temple. Good morning. I love this question.
Good morning, Art, and good morning, Doug. I have one statement and one question. The first statement would be, and this is just a general statement, I'm 78, and I started playing golf at 65. And one thing I learned right off the bat, that 1,000 things can go wrong when you're playing golf, and each one is paper thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of them are in your head.
The 6
that's
inches
right.
between your ears will get in the way most of the time.
Well, and maybe that you might have already answered the question I'm going to give you. I can go out on the driving range and hit the ball fairly well for me, and the next day in league or just general golfing, whatever I did on the driving range, I'm not doing on the golf range. I mean, playing golf. So that must be all about the pain too.
Yeah, I think the driving range fairway is much bigger than the fairway on the first hole. So most of the time, if you can keep it on the range, you think you're hitting it pretty good. So I would say, hey, practice on the range. Make sure you're looking at a target because a lot of times that becomes the difference. People are just going through their motion on the range and enjoying their time, and then they get on the golf course and all of a sudden there's a target, right? It's the flag, it's a fairway, it's a certain specific target, so they get a little anxious. So breathe and pick a target.
All right. Well, I'll try to remember that. I always know what I do wrong, but when I hit the ball well, I don't know what I did right.
Yeah. Me neither.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
Told you, 2 great questions for golfers. How do you
For
get
sure.
rid of the goose droppings, and why am I so good on the driving range?
Yeah. Hey, I'm excited. 65, started playing golf. That's good. You don't have to be 5 years
Well,
old. You can start at any time.
He's got an advantage over me because I started playing when I was 15, which was a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
And I've become more and more disenfranchised because I've lost so much yardage. I can remember the day when I could hit the ball pretty regularly 265, 275. If I get 210 now, I'm lucky. And I've lost at least 2 clubs on every shot.
Yeah, it is amazing how quick. I was going to say, like, with our junior programs, we have kids that are, 16, 17, and I'm like, oh, I can kind of remember when I hit it that far. We'll go out and play, and they're so young and flexible and swinging without a care in their world, and I'm just trying to steer it down the fairway. And, yeah, it's a different game when you realize that you're losing yardage by 10, 15 yards a year, and your short game better get good. So
the only thing that I do pick up now is that I play the front tees. I
That's
move
right.
up, and that's been a blessing.
Well, I think a lot of courses now have 5 sets of tees.
Yeah.
When back in the day it was 3. You had your red, white, and blue, and that was it.
And I know a lot of guys my age, their pride won't let them move up, so they got to play from the blues
Yeah.
and the whites and the blues. And I'm going, you're missing it.
Yeah, if you can't reach the green, a par 4 and 2 from where you're teeing off, and you need some opportunity, you want to have fun. None of us are out there playing golf for a living, and I agree with you. The idea that we've got to play these back tees, but if you can't have fun, we had that in our league out there. A lot of guys they voted this year to move up. I'm like, I don't have a problem with it. You're not going to keep coming back if you're not having fun and have some opportunities to make birdie and pars.
All right, we'll take a quick break, come back talking to Doug Temple. He is the golf pro at Bay Valley. Doug Temple, he is the professional golfer and the head pro at Bay Valley. And Gus is in Midland. Gus, good morning. You're on with Doug.
Hey, good morning. I just wanted to ask Doug how a right-hander would set up for a fade.
Oh, hang on a minute.
We're playing in league last night, and we were working hard on that draw we were trying to get you to hit. And I can't hit a fade, and you know that. So, yeah. I played with Gus last night in our Monday night league. So Gus was working on trying to hit a draw. He hits a fade, and my golf shot does not fade. So we had the opposites going.
I could probably teach you to fade. I've always done that very well. I call it a slice, but you call it a fade.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell Gus just like I tell everybody else. If I practiced more, Gus, I'd be able to fade the ball. But Sandy only lets me out twice a week.
Oh, I know. All right, you guys have a good day.
See you, Gus.
Gus, thanks for calling.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, let's talk about a number of things at Bay Valley. Let's talk first about lessons. You're a teaching pro. You have been forever. And you're teaching out there too, right?
Yeah.
So what kinds of teaching opportunities are there for your students?
So we have, as part of when I came to Bay Valley, one of the things I wanted to create over time was the Bay Valley Golf Academy. I wanted this region to know there's a place you could go to have quality instruction, quality programs, quality teachers. So we've worked hard. We have 2 additional PGA members that are teaching out of Bay Valley. So we have 3 of us that offer everything from private lessons, small group lessons. We have Saturday morning clinics with PGA professional Matt Sayad. We have junior camps. We just finished a June junior camp, had 50 juniors in it. We've got a July camp coming up the end of July. We've got a women's give back only clinic, which I think we do this on Wednesday nights, Art. It's a group of women. Each week we also have a different nonprofit that comes in. They talk about what's going on. I've got Donna coming in this week from Emmaus House. So she'll be out there explaining what Emmaus House does. And at the end of the day, we give back a percentage of that clinic to a nonprofit.
Wow.
So lots of opportunities for lessons. The other thing this is a unique program. We haven't talked about it, and I'm sure you don't know about it. Very few people do. It's called an opportunity shot. This is a brand new thing that's going to be out at Bay Valley in the next 2 weeks. On the first hole, an opportunity shot is a mulligan. You can take a mulligan, but you're giving an opportunity if you make a donation to some of these different groups that we're working with at Bay Valley. It could be a group that wants to learn about golf. It could be somebody in our community. I think of our junior league right now. We're working with the Homeschooler Network. We're working with the CAC and Hurley Coleman over there. We're providing opportunity for groups that want to learn the game. Maybe they want to work with a superintendent and learn a little bit about horticulture. Maybe they want to go up in the kitchen and work with our chef and learn some culinary arts.
Not golf exclusive. Then.
No, not at all. So you're going to see, it looks like a mailbox on the first tee at Bay Valley. There's a nice little A-frame that'll say, take an opportunity shot. It's an opportunity for you as a golfer, but you're going to be providing opportunity for a different individual. Doesn't have to be golf lessons. So this women's clinic is our first run at them learning about, okay, you've got some things going on. They're going to help us pick what charities we actually donate those resources to. And it might not be specific to something that we're already doing. That's what I'm telling everybody is, if you've got an idea and somebody comes to me, and I just had a sorority group from SVSU, said, hey, we're trying to get a group of girls to learn how to play golf. I'm like, just let me know when. We'll get you, free access to the range. I'll give you equipment. we want to remove all these barriers, and this opportunity shot's going to do that.
Hey, that's an interesting concept, because what it's brought to the local level is what every tournament does.
Exactly.
Gives back to the community. Philanthropy has always been part of golf.
Yeah.
GA, you name it.
So
USGA.
Yeah, all of them. Philanthropy is huge, and we borrowed this concept. A good friend of mine, Michael Rays, the PGA professional over at Pilgrim's Run, they do this specifically for their veterans program. They have a starter. They don't call it an opportunity shot. I forget. I think it's called actually Mulligans for Military. So they have it on the first tee. All their veterans in their Veterans League at the end of it. One, they pay for a very reduced rate. It helps offset that so they can all have access to golf. But every year they're donating $5,000 to $7,000 to a veterans charity of that Veterans League's choice in their community. So those are the types of things that we want to do out of Bay Valley.
So let's talk about availability of play at Bay Valley. Sun up to sunset. What's the regimen?
So we have a lot of leagues. So we have leagues Monday through. We have actually a couple leagues on Friday, 2 small leagues on Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, busy league times from, let's call it 3:30 on. So if you want to get out and play in the evening, we'll have slots sometimes after 6 o'clock. If you're going to play 18, you've got to make the turn before the league. So a lot of people, they call, hey, can you get out at 3 o'clock? For 9, you'll probably be able to get out. But if you can get out before 1:30, a lot of times we can turn you so you can play 18. Mornings are busy. Friday, Saturday, Sundays have been just gangbusters for us.
Well, this is good.
We were just talking Sunday, historically a pretty quiet day. Since we opened in April, has been our busiest day. I've been working a lot with a lot of the local golf pros, and I said, we haven't went after people don't know Bay Valley in good shape, so we don't have a lot of those outside tournaments that a lot of the other courses have. And since I know a lot of the people in the industry, I'm like, if people are calling and they want to get out and play and you've got a tournament, send them to Bay Valley. We'll take care of them. So I think we're picking up a lot of play that way as well.
Is there a website?
BayValley.com. You can check out everything. I would encourage everybody, if you're on social media, to follow our Facebook page. Has a lot of specials and things that are going on daily. We're posting updates.
All the time.
All the time.
And how's your swing?
It's getting shorter. My backswing is getting shorter.
I've heard stories about you playing and how they make you play from the blacks. I've heard stories.
Yeah. I'm a glutton to punishment. I played with my son on Father's Day out at the Fortress, speaking of Kyle Martin out there, and appreciate him taking care of us. And we had an outstanding time. I played the back tees, and I should not have.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it was a beating for sure. The golf course won.
The golf course won, huh?
Definitely.
Well, Doug, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks, Art. I always appreciate coming. Appreciate your time.
And I promise we'll get out to Bay Valley and play some.
Sounds great.
Doug Temple, he is the head PGA pro at Bay Valley Golf Course. And if you have a chance, stop on out or go online at bayvalley.com. And remember, too, that they are now a Wyndham property. So lots of stay and play opportunities.
You got it. Come see us.
All right. Take our last break, and then we'll be back to close out. Let me take a moment to ask how you slept last night, because today we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there theoretically. You need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured your mattress is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but you can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. They feature a 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home. You don't have to wait around all day. By the way, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them online at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 1935.
Ready to update your home and
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. We'll be back tomorrow with lots more. But stick around for Focus. We should be talking about the SVRC Marketplace coming up after the news from ABC and the local report with Michael Percha. That's all ahead. I'm Art Lewis. We'll be back with Focus right after the news.
broadcasting from the